Welcome to my top 5 tips for new Borderlands players. I thought about this idea a long time ago, but I didn't really want to do it because I thought this game was too old and my channel is too small and no one would find it that's a new player. But lately I've been having some of my videos kind of pop up towards the top of search results, and I still see a lot of people in the forums and on Reddit and other places, and with the holidays coming up, people are probably going to be getting copies of this game because it's going to be on sale. So, yeah, these are my top 5 tips for new players beginning the game. So, tip 1. Tip 1 is do not farm. I know this kind of sounds counterintuitive, maybe, but when you're doing your first few playthroughs, it's better off for you to explore and use all the different guns. Don't just rely on the couple big powerful guns. Like right here, I was at Savage Lee. Savage Lee drops the Herald, and the Herald's one of the more powerful guns in the game. The problem is, if you rely on that gun through the easy modes, like normal and true Vault Hunter mode, and then you get into a difficult mode, you don't know how to adapt and overcome things. You're used to just destroying everything with the best of the best. This game has got a ridiculous amount of guns. Borderlands games have more guns than any other game franchise out there. So use them. Use those low-level modes to experiment and learn the game. See what you like. See what's out there. Just pick things up and use them. And then to kind of go with this is also don't try to work into other people's builds, or kind of just stay away from a lot of the spoilers and the temptation just to go get the super gear, and just play with what you find. Playing with what you find will make you a better player. It'll make you understand the mechanics of the game and how to attack enemies and how to overcome things. You should struggle every now and then. That's not a bad thing. Struggling will just make you better. So, on to tip number 2. After I kill this guy. Number 2. Number 3, do side quests. Maybe not this side quest. But when you do normal mode, I think it's important to go around and experiment and do all the side quests. A bunch of people will tell you not to do side quests, and I highly disagree with this. I think you are better off, you can save the side quests in true Vault Hunter mode, but in normal mode, doing the side quests really helps you learn the game. You get your hands on new guns. You learn new enemies, and it helps you see the lore and the entirety of the game. And then in true Vault Hunter mode, you can kind of decide which ones you want to skip. But now this game has so much DLC and so much content. If you do every side quest for every DLC, you're going to outlevel. So with the caveat of do side quests, another part of that is don't overlevel yourself. You can get a little over-leveled, but if you start to get too over-leveled, then save those side quests for true Vault Hunter mode. The arenas can do this to you really easily, and there's a few other parts that can over-level you, especially with doing trying to do every DLC. So do side quests, but sometimes spread them out through playthroughs, through characters. But you do want to do them, especially in normal mode. True Vault Hunter mode, be very careful, I guess, not to go much past level 50 before you move on to UVHM. I know this is kind of a tip within a tip. I said 5. It's 5.5. Because in UVHM, enemies scale to your level. And if you level up to, let's say, 61, which I've heard of, and then you start True Vault Hunter or UVHM, all your guns are going to be level 50, and the enemies are going to be level 61. And that your shield and everything, too. So you're going to have a bad time. So, yeah, don't get over-leveled with it, but do as many as you can. staying around that level rather than just like farming the same bosses for XP and stuff. Because, like I said, it helps you learn the game. Helps you understand what you're doing and gets the guns in your hand. And buy Torg Vision. So, number 4. Number 4 is guns are more than their stats, especially with red text. So, I guess to get over to the red text first, to learn from my own mistakes, whenever you see red text on a gun, so, as you can see here, as my cursor is circling that, that is the red text. That means the gun's got a special ability. So when that happens, take that gun and shoot it, and see if you can see anything. Sometimes it's just an increase of stats and you might not notice it, but go use it on enemies. Because a lot of these guns are very unique and don't shoot like normal guns. Now the Pimpernel here, obviously one of my favorite guns. If you watch this channel, you know that. The Pimpernel doesn't have, well, it's got standard stats, but if I go to a Muck-a-Muck here, you can see the Muck-a-Muck has better stats in every way. Now the Muck-a-Muck's a damn good gun, but it's not better than the Pimpernel. And here you see it's got over twice the damage, but it's not going to do over twice the damage as the Pimpernel. So my first time getting the Pimpernel, I didn't do this. The game was still pretty new, I was new to it, and I just sold it. I sold my Pimpernel without even shooting the damn thing. And, you know, obviously I regretted that later, because the Pimpernel is ridiculously good. But this goes beyond just guns like the Pimpernel, or just red text. So, guns are also, you know, sometimes misleading with the stats, or more than the stats. And, oddly enough, the Muck-a-Muck's a good example of this. So with sniper rifles, you can look at the stats, but what you don't realize is Muck-a-Mucks, or Jacob snipers, have 160% critical hit bonus where other snipers have 100. Or maybe you have another sniper, you have a Maliwan sniper and another sniper, and the other sniper's got better stats than the Maliwan. But because the Maliwan has splash damage, you're actually getting more out of it than you think you are. That goes also for Torg weapons. So often there's more to the stat card, but also the stat card is more than just the damage. And a good example of this is shotguns. Now here you see the Dox Quad has more damage per pellet, and it's got 20 pellets rather than 13. Looks better. But since this is a Rustler's Quad versus a Dox Coach gun, that Dox Coach gun's got 55% accuracy compared to 8% accuracy on the Quad. Also, you only need 2 ammo per shot, and you have more of a critical hit bonus. So with this, let my accuracy come back here. You can see Coach versus Quad. And this is, you know, those things make a difference. Ammo consumption, accuracy, reload speed. You know, these guns are more than just a collection of just a couple of stats. That's, well, some of these are a bunch of stats, but, you know, some you don't see because they're not listed, or you can see there, the Coach gun compared to the Quad, it wasn't a great example, but the Quad, you have to be incredibly close to hit with it. Where the Coach gun, you've got some range on it. So there's a lot that goes to these guns and how they work. So, you know, pick up these guns and use them. And this kind of ties back to point 1 a little bit. You don't know what you like until you try it. You know, it's kind of like what your mom told you with food. You know, how do you know if you like broccoli or not? So, you know, try the guns. See what suits you. Some people prefer Torg shotguns to Jacobs and vice versa. You're not going to know these things until you play with them. So, on to number 5, the final point. Number 5, character synergies. I couldn't think of a better way to do this than Maya's chain reaction with unlisted pellets, which allows you to just put out a stupid amount of damage really fast, getting re-splits with guns. Also things like life tap and so forth. This game is very deep. It has a ton of combinations of skills, of guns, of grenades, of shields. There's a lot of creativity you can have with this game. So, always be thinking out of the box. Think about how things work together to get the most out of your character. As I have nothing else to bounce bullets off of here. There's almost limited potential of what you can do in this game. So, why just stop and do the same boring thing? And some people say it's all been discovered, but, I don't believe it. I mean, a lot has been, sure, and a lot of people suck at grenade jumps like me. But there's so much to do in this game, and don't let the fact that the game's been old kind of dissuade you from figuring things out. Make sure I have the right one on there. Example, what I'm doing here wasn't discovered until quite a while into the game, where you can just absolutely wreck Saturn. And new things are still being learned. Like that. I'm just gonna go up and do one more. Yeah, so, Maya has an incredible synergy with certain guns and chain reaction, allowing her to do what you just saw. Sal has a bunch of offhand synergies. Gage has a ton of synergies with Anarchy and Close Enough. And Zero, well, he's got all his melee stuff and his Boar synergies, much like Maya's chain reaction synergies. Krieg's got a ton of stuff with Hellborn, and guns that work the best with that, and getting most out of the dots with him, and healing off that stuff. There's a lot to be had, and experimenting with all that stuff is a ton of fun. At least in my opinion, that's some of the most fun in the game. Did I leave one alive? I hope I did. Oh, he's not being a good boy. I didn't mean to kill him. That kind of thwarts my plans here. Is there anything to phase lock? Nope. So I kind of came into this unprepared. But that's fine. I'll wait till he spawns something. Or at least puts his shield down. So yeah, but learning your character synergies, but beyond that, to kind of elaborate that on too, knowing your limits of your characters. Knowing what they can do, the damage they can take. Oh, he just wants to nuke me really bad. But not spawn anything. Let's see, is he going to put up another one? Oh, I thought maybe he was up there. Still not going to spawn anything. So example here, I know that, well, usually Corrosion is better. The Becca can take out him faster than the Pimpernel unless I have chain reaction. And that's just understanding your character. And all that kind of goes back to, point 1 and some of the early ones of taking your time in the game and learning the game and your character. And this is another example of this. I know that this here is a choke point that I can just Quasar everyone and get some phase lock in there between Scorn And instead of going into there, that death trap of all those enemies, I can just walk in calmly because I've played this game, taken my time, learned the strategies, learned the tactics. So, yeah, those are my top 5 tips for starting new in Borderlands 2. You know, I know it's hypocritical. Don't watch too much YouTube and don't read too much when you first get the game. Just enjoy it. Don't let it be spoiled. Discover things on your own. I didn't even look at my legendary from the tubby. So let's go check this out. See if it's anything cool. Legendary killer. OP8, not bad. That's kind of cool. Booster shield and anything else around here doesn't look like it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. For you more experienced players that sat through this, what are your tips for new players starting? So if any new players do watch this, because hopefully it comes up on searches for them, they can see other people's tips in the comments. So yeah, put those there. And once again, thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, give me a like and a subscribe, please. Those help me out. I don't always ask for them at the end of videos. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I don't on purpose. So either way, have fun, and I will see you guys later. Bye.